Guys, welcome to the channel. Have you ever feel unsatisfied about the plastic parts in the kit, but you don't know what to do with them? In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 simple modifications I use to add more details to my R.M.S Titanic build. In addition, I will show you all the tools and materials I used so you can also adopt these tricks in your next build. I was wondering when removing parts from the runners, what is this shower headlight equipment that can be seen everywhere on the deck? So I did some research and found it is actually a ventilation equipment called Scirocco vent. Straight away, you can notice the parts does not have the opening for air intake. This is why we need our first modification, drill holes. Firstly, you don't start drilling right away as your drill bits might not find the center. You can easily slide away and hurt your fingers. Instead, I mark the center with a knife pen and then slowly increase the drill bit size until it fully maxes out. Drill bit eventually goes near to penetrate the plastic parts, so definitely drill slowly and with care. If you take a look at the historical picture of the Scirocco vent again, you realize there are these welding lines around the neck. After heating up the runner with a lighter, you can easily pull them apart. No, not like that. Let's do it again. Slowly, and it's much better. Now all you need to do is to cut the string into small pieces and glue them to the Scirocco vent with extra thin cement. This is a finished part, although it is not as good as if it's made of photo etch, but I would say it's definitely improved compared to the original ones. For the next 2 modifications, I'll be putting some work on the lifeboats. For those who watch the Titanic movie, you will find the original part familiar. Yes, it is how they look like when covered during the trip to New York. However, in this build, I would like to make the lifeboats that can actually carry passengers. To do that, we need to remove some plastic. This is a push brooch, which I usually use to remove plastic details and replace with photo etched parts. When using it, try to lay down the blade horizontally as much as you can so that you don't end up with deep scratch lines which cannot be removed. I use sponge sandpapers that are cut into small pieces to smooth the inner surface. It is an extra thick type, which is much softer and fits the curve a lot better. And don't forget to add seats inside the lifeboats, which are made of a 0.3mm plastic sheet. In reality, the lifeboat is made of wooden strips. There are pedal lines around its hull. We can use this fixed height scraping tool to recreate this effect. It has a gauge and the scraping blade in parallel to keep the scrape line straight. All I need to do is to put the lifeboat against the gauge and go around the hull with the blade. You don't have to exert a lot of force as it will prevent the blade from going straight. Although in reality there might be more than 10 lines in each side, I only did for about 4 to 5 strap lines. Beyond this number, the lines will start to get messy. This is a finished part. Although the scrap lines are not very visible at this stage, they will be more pronounced after some painting and panel lining. The next modification is around the decks. We are going to use photo etched parts in this build to replace several plastic parts. But these plastic parts have their installation slots left on the deck, and they give a toy-like look to the model. Therefore, we will use AB putty to fill in the gaps and make the deck smooth again. As the name suggests, AB putty comes in 2 bottles. When mixing them together, a soft and sticky material is created. Now you have about 1 hour time to apply them before it starts to harden. So don't mix too much each time as it will end up being wasted. I fill all the gaps and empty spaces with the plastic spatula and and wait for 12 hours for them to fully harden. For each spot, I apply slightly more putty to make sure the gap is fully filled up. The extra putty will be trimmed with a push brush and smoothened with sandpapers. Here is the complete parts. The gaps look like being patched up, but after some painting, it will look uniform to the deck. And there we have it. These are 5 modifications that you can also use to make more details out of the plastic parts. Before we end this video, here are all the tools and materials I used for this part of the build. Feel free to pause and take screenshots. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to the channel. Now I will go on to work on the photo etched parts, and I will see you in the next video.